Good afternoon. The next day from fire hardening, I hydrated this several times, both of these bows. This happens to be the black locust and the red oak. I hydrated them during the night, really hydrated them a lot. And then I went to sleep, and a couple hours later I woke up and I just couldn't sleep. So I said, I'm going to put antler tips, actually horn tips. I wound up putting buffalo horn tips on both bows. So there I am in the garage working on this. And I use AE40. All right, a lot of guys just use Titebond, but I have it. And I know this is super strong. I always leave a test piece with one of the spoons. I mix even amounts of spoonfuls and mix it together. And this test piece knows it's secure, but you got to leave it for 24 hours to cure. So it's going to stay with the rubber bands on, even though it's as hard as that, that plate. Okay, so I just want to show you, this is the black locust with the crack. Okay, I've sanded it. You see the crack line in there. But I think because the pressure is going to be going this way, I think it's going to be fine when I tiller it. I sanded it, and this was a big step crack like. It's smooth as can be, okay? You know, and when I go to, before I tiller it, the edge is going to be a little rounder. All right. Let me show you what it looks like. I sanded it really nice. It's all sanded. I don't think I could get a nicer looking piece of wood. And I really think, crack or no crack, I think I have a chance, a good chance of making a bow out of this. Let me show you the red oak bow. This is the red oak bow. Little wider limbs. A little less back set, only has an inch back set. All sanded nice, smooth. Let me show you underneath. Okay, let me show you the back set on this one versus this one. This here is the red oak back set. Okay, 1 inch back set. This is the black locust with like a 3-inch back set. Okay, you really can see the difference. So what I came to figure out is the one back set jig I have that has the 1 inch. I made that for a juniper bow that I made to fire harden. And you got to be real careful. I don't know if it's meant to fire harden or not. The wood was smoking. I kept playing around. Like about 2.5 hours, I would say. I was heat treating the wood. It turned out to be a nice bow. But it only had 1 inch back set because I didn't want to stress anything out. So I think certain woods, maybe even the black locust, just put a little back set on it. You know, 1.5, maybe 1 to 2 inches, maybe. And it's less stress on the limbs, less chance of a crack in a riser for fire hardening. But I'm happy with this. I don't think I should have, you know, hardly any string follow, fire hardened with a 1 inch back set. And I think it's going to make a bow. I don't think it's going to break. I had a phone call in the middle. I hope I can edit it out. Okay, so this is the 1 inch back set. And I think a lot of woods that I'm unsure of, I'll try the 1 inch back set first. Okay, and even the black locust and that hop hornbeam, I think you can't go too drastic on the back set jig, okay? So 1, maybe to 2 inch, I think would be the max on the back set jig for those woods. But hickory, I got to tell you, when I put that, whatever that is, 3 inch back set on those hickory bows, they're smoking fast. So that's all. Just want to show you my waking up to 5 o'clock in the morning projects. Okay. Next, tomorrow, it might be nice enough to cut string grooves and actually get these bows bending. See if they break or last. Curiosity has the best of me. I want to see if this crack holds up while I'm tillering. So I brought the tillering stick in, and you see the back set. I talked about the back set earlier. Maybe for certain woods other than hickory, you should use less than a 3-inch back set like I have, and maybe that'll prevent some of this. This had a dip, and when I heated it up to try and straighten it out, that's when I put it inside and I heard a pop, and it came apart. But you probably know that already from my videos, and we're going to bring it down a little past level here. And we're going to start tillering. I have marks on the fade outs, the midpoint, and 1 inch from the string groove. Okay. When we look back here, we got a big bend here, a little dip here. We got to remove material from here to here. All right, let's check out the other side. Make this line a little darker. Maybe you could see it. From here to 1 inch past the string groove on this side. Okay. We got a bend going on here. Sorry about this. It's hard to do it and get it in the camera at the same time. Okay, we got a bend going on, and we need a little more material taken off here. Got a little dip here. So the idea is we go down 1 inch at a time and use a straight edge, and we want to try and get it to bend perfect. The straight edge, if you look at this, you really can't tell. You say, oh, yeah, let me straighten this a little bit. You say, oh, it looks good, right? Looks good. Pretty even, pull down more. But when you put the straight edge up, things jump out at you. You put the straight edge up, you got a big bend here and a dip there. And it's easy to see, okay? So you should start tillering with a yardstick to help you see better. Let's see what we got. Just came in. Yep, and we started to get a bend here. See, I removed material. If I mark from here to here, I start in the middle and go back and forth to create a bend. And it's looking good, right? It looks pretty good. You can never see that without the yardstick. No flat spots. So if you look here, see I created a little more bend here now too. Let's go down just a little bit more, another 1 inch. Now this is very heavy. We're going to lower the weight on this again. And the idea is I want this to be a backup or another 3D bow, because I love my Christmas bow that I made out of hickory. That's 35 pounds. Very fast. So that's the goal for this. Let me get my pencil out. And let's see where we got to remove material from. Okay, it's actually looking pretty good. You can see it needs a little bit more from here. Let's see how we got here. You can see it's got a flat spot here. Flat spot there. Then I'll come back in. I'm going to do this back and forth. I'll show you the first few times. And I'm going to record each time, just in case it breaks. I'll put that in. Did a little weight reduction and took off those spots. Let's see what we got. Looking good. It's got a pretty nice bend going on. Possibly here a little bit. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Okay, I like this bend. I'm not going to take anything off there. I'm going to take off that little spot and come back. We're going to go down a little further. Much nicer bend. I took the little material off of there. We got a nice bend going on over here. I'm just going to go down another inch. We still got that nice bend going on. Got a real nice bend going on here. And we're nowhere near putting a string on it. We got quite a ways to go. So right here now, who thinks this is going to be firewood? Firewood or a bow? I'm still up in the air. I think it's going to be a bow though. Let's go down a little more. A really nice bend. Let's see how this side is. We got a very nice bend going on here too. I'm going to get a tape measure and see how much each limb is bending. Quick. Might as well stay on and watch. An inch and 3/8. Looks like an inch and 3/8. An inch and 3/8. Let's see what we got over here. An inch and 3/8. Wow. Very even so far. Well, let's go down one more inch. We're getting to the point where we're going to be putting the string on soon. So far it's all holding together. Nice beautiful bend going on there. Nothing's jumping out at me for a flat spot. Very nice. All right, so this string here is down, it says 20.5 up here in the groove, but it's actually, the string looks like it's in the middle of this 19.5. So we're going to pull down and see how many pounds it is at that 19.5 just to see. 34 plus pounds. 34 plus pounds. And let me see if I'm getting close to putting the string on. And I want a 35-pound bow. So getting real close to putting the string on it. I'm going to take a few strokes off, just a few for weight removal. Come in, check it out, and then we're going to see if we can put a string on it. Okay, I have a string on it. Now what we're going to do is measure from the fade outs in the middle. Okay, 5 3/4, 6 inches. This one's bending more. Let's go to the middle. It's 4.5. Let's go to the middle here. It's 4.5. Okay, so let's check out the fade out again. 6, and this is 5 3/4. So when I see that this one is a little thicker, I have to look at the fade outs themselves and see if there's just a little more material that has to come down, so I don't get a false reading with the bend. So what we'll do is we'll go from the back of the bow here, and we got the 6 3/8, and we'll go from the back of the bow here, and we got 6.5. Okay, so this does have to bend a little more here. So 5-inch brace height. I'll be back. Gonna take a little more. Let me mark it with a pencil. Always mark with a pencil so you don't get confused. Okay. I went back and forth twice and had to remove material. It was a little bit of a high spot, and now it's even. So now we're going to put it on the stick, pull it down a little, check it with the ruler, and then we're going to see what pounds it is. If it's going to break, it's going to break soon. Okay, it's got a really nice bend. Another really nice bend going on. And right now we're at 16 inches. So it'll be an 18-inch draw. So let's see what kind of weight we got at 18 inches, which is, let's see what kind of weight we got. We got 26 pounds. Let's go down a little more. At 24 inches, we got 33 pounds. 24. I'm 26.5. I'm going to say it's close. It's close enough. I'm just going to put it down a little bit and check real quick at the bend. And then what I'm going to say is that this is done for tonight. I'm going to shape the riser tomorrow and shoot a little, see if it lasts. Let me go down just a little quick and check. Okay, 21.5. Looks really good. $21.5. It looks really good. Looks nice. Okay. Okay, this black locust held up. It held up. So tomorrow we're going to shape the riser handle, put a shelf in it, and we're going to do a little shooting. I got it. It's going to be at my 35 pounds, 37 pounds. It's going to be close to that. So I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to get the red oak bow. We're going to put that on and see how it is. That went fairly quick. When you use this yardstick and you take the time to take the flat spots out to get it bended, it goes down pretty quick. I'm going to start tillering it. As thick as this is, it's going to be a lighter pound bow. You can tell already. Make sure it's in the string groove good here. There we go. See what we got. Okay, let's see what we got here. Actually got a nice bend. We need a little bit off here. Get my pencil out. Make it a little darker, maybe you could see it better. Okay, looking at this, we got a nice bend. Probably could use a little more bend at the end. I'm not going to do nothing with it yet. And we have a beautiful little bend here too. All right, I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to tape measure. We're going to measure how even it is coming down. Pulling this down, I could tell that red oak certainly isn't as strong as that black locust is. Plus it's a little thicker and a little weaker. An inch and an eighth. And this is 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is just remove a little more material here and come back. I think the bend here, we darken this up so we can see it a little better. I think the bend here is good for now. I'm just going to but now it's good. I'm just going to take some material off here and get them bending even before I drop it down. From here to here, just maybe a little bit on the outer limb. Let's check over here. Looking really good. Perhaps just a tiny bit here. Okay, we're about ready to put a string on. I made a couple trips back and forth. Inch and 5/8. 1.5 inches. Wow, looking pretty good. Let me just check these bends out from a distance again quick. Little good. Might be a little bit in here. A little in here maybe. It's not bending. From here to here. Let's look over here. Looking good. It needs to bend from here to here. Okay, then I'm going to put a string on it. Okay, a couple trips back and forth. I got a nice string on it with a 6-inch brace height. And I evened everything out. It was a couple of trips. I noticed that the string angles were not sharp enough, so I had to just put the file in and open them up a little bit. And that's okay. If you look and you see and you think the angles need to be different, go ahead and change them. I'm going to pull it down a little and check out the bend. Okay, we have a 16.5 inch draw length. Should be about 18-inch draw length. And we have a really nice bend going on. Okay, we got a really nice bend going on. I can't seem to think of anything to take off here. Looks pretty good. Let's check out this side. A little difficult doing this like this on your own. Okay, this side has a great bend going on too. I can't see any flat spots or anything. So right now we're at a 16, so it'll be 18-inch brace height. It's very light bow, very lightweight bow. I'm surprised how light it is. Okay, we got 22, so it'll be 24 inches. 24 inches. Get a nice bend. Another nice bend. So we got it 24 inches. I'm going to pull it down with a scale and see. So this is 22.5. So it's about 24.5. Put a scale on it. Go down 24. Okay, it's 23 at 26. 23 pounds at 26. So this is the first time making a red oak bow, you know, from a tree. And the limbs are a little thicker than, let's say, black locust. And I thought it'd be more weight, but it's not. So we got a low pound bow, and that's fine. And I'll can't wait to shoot it. Okay, favors this side, so this is going to be the top. This is going to be the top. Okay, let me mark the top. Always one string. The string will favor one side all the time, and it's favoring this side, so this will be the top right here. I'm going to mark it change the string, and I'm going to shoot a couple arrows out of this little thing. This is the fire-hardened red oak that was a live tree like 3 weeks ago. Okay, and I didn't realize that when you're making red oak, the limbs have to be a lot thicker compared to, you know, like black locust. So this is a low pound bow. This is probably, I'll get the scale out, but I think it was like 24 pounds, 23 pounds at my draw length. Okay, let me shoot another one. This is with no shelf, you know, just shooting off my hand there, guessing where the knocking point is. Touching arrows down there, huh? Let's get that black locust with the crack that everybody thought was going to break. Okay, here's that fire-hardened black locust that everybody thought was firewood. I had my doubts too if it would make a bow. That I glued with the AE40, and it held really good. And I'll get the scales and I'll weigh both the bows, but I think this is like 37 pounds. So right there. Let's shoot the next one. I gotta make new string for it. These are just old strings I grabbed out of the bag. I don't even have a knock set correctly or anything. I'm just winging it. Okay, let's check it out. Everything stayed the same. Crack didn't open up. I made 2 nice bows. They're both tilted tonight. It's 12:30 at night again. I'm going to just clean up. And tomorrow outside, it's supposed to be a fairly nice day. I'll make a mess and shape the handles and put a shelf in it. Let me, one more thing before I end the night. I'm going to get my pull scale and see what they weigh. Okay, let's see what the black locust is at my 26.5 draw length. 37, almost 37.5 pounds. So this is excellent. This is another 3D bow like I wanted. Perfect, perfect weight. Let me get the little bow and we'll see what that weighs. It's actually not a little bow, the low pound bow. This is, and once again, this is fire hardened red oak. And this was a live tree a couple of weeks ago. Okay, it's almost 24 pounds at my 26.5 inch draw length. So it's a pretty cool low pound bow. All right. So that's it. I'm done. Decided, you see my videos. I can't wait to finish stuff. And it's going to be fairly nice tomorrow for going outside, shaping the handles. But the 12:30 till the 2 bows, I'm done. Have a good night. Good morning. From around 10 o'clock to 12:30 at night, I tilted these 2 bows. This is the red oak bow I made with 1-inch back set. After I shot, it had a little bit of what I would call like string follow. And as I unstrung it and it sat for an hour or so, it came back. So the fire hardening allowed it to come back from to have a little back set. That's the bow that everybody thought was going to break because it has a crack in the riser that I glued with AE40, and it made a beautiful bow, 37 pounds, and it held up. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to shape the handles, cut risers in them, and I'll show you them, and then that'll be the end of this video. And at some later date, maybe I'll compare that bow, the black locust bow that's 37 pounds, to one of my hickory fire hardened bows. They both have that 2.5, 3-inch back set. So stay tuned. Okay, right here is the center. I put my middle finger here around the bow. There's a little space above, like 1/8 of an inch, and then I put an X. This way I could have a crowned shelf, and when I sand it, I'll have a radius riser. Okay, now you could use a chisel it out, saw it. I want to show you the rough cut riser on the Black Locust. And if you see, you don't have a lot of room for the shelf. You want the arrow though to clear. You don't want to be it out here because it's a point. Okay, look. So how do you get this in so it works good? So what I do is I take a rat tail file, round peg in a square hole, but I take the rat tail file and I'll go in on top of this to bring it down. And I'll go on an angle up and down. And what I'll do is I'll create a pocket with the round rat tail, because that's about the only thing that'll fit in there nice. So let me do a little bit of this here right in front of you. And then the rest you'll have to do with like 60 grit sandpaper to get it really nice. But what you're doing is you're making this a little more upright before it curves out. So it comes down and it's a little squarer here. And this way the arrow, when the arrow sits and it goes, we can get it to go against the flat surface. Right here. Choke it right here and then taper it up nice. 60 grit sandpaper, a lot of work. Just to show you step by step, you see what I'm talking about? Came up a little, now I'm gonna make this come transition nice so it looks good. Here's the half round file just to show you it's flat here. So I'm going up like this. And I angle this way, trying to blend them together. Trying to get the heavy tool marks out and have a nice transition. And you can see it's working, right? And then we got 60 grit sandpaper just to smooth that out, and then we go to the 150 and 230. Okay, I won't drive you crazy with this, but you see how you have to work at it a little bit. Yes, I'll show you this way. Okay, you see it? Now there's plenty of room for the arrow. There's no pinch, right? Okay, Black Locust, wear your mask and goggles. It's poisonous, it's an irritant. So where I put my hand, okay, I'm gonna draw a little line back here. And this is where I'm going to start making an indentation for my hand to go. Then if you notice your thumb goes down, on this side. If you're lefty, it's the opposite, of course. And that's how we're going to shape it. And this has to come down just a little bit, tiny little bit. So the first thing is we cut where your hand goes. Okay, I won't keep going. I just want to give you the idea. This is the first part that I do back here. So your hand goes in. See how your thumb naturally goes down on an angle? And then over here, you don't want too big of a space between the shelf and here. All right, 1/8 of an inch or so, quarter max, I would say. And I'll show you when I trim it up some more. Okay, any round edges like here, okay, where your hands go back here, you gotta clean it all up. So now that this is very roughed out, it's roughed out, and it feels good. I took the sharp edges off. You can't help but it's a lot of sandpaper sanding to get it nice and smooth and where you want it. So that's what I'm going to do now. This is the red oak riser, and don't use 60 grit on it. This wood is softer than, you know, the hickory or the black locust, and I used 120. I used 120 to take out the marks, and this has more of an open grain, a more porous grain than, let's say, white oak. Very light, beautiful bow though. But you can see how I sand it. You can see the little edges there. You know, it'll take the stain and I'll polyurethane it. But I wanted to show you how nice it came out. Okay, I got it so it fits my hand nice. No round, no jagged edges, all smooth. Thumb goes down. Okay. It's a nice, fun little 24-pound bow. I'm going to put the string on them. I'll show you, and that'll be the end of the video. Okay, I'm very happy that this black locust with the crack held up. Look, it's a beautiful bow, right? It's 37 pounds at 26.5 inches. They need new strings. These strings are just strings I grabbed out of the grab bag. You saw me shoot them last night without a shelf or anything in it. So I'll just show you the profile quick. Absolutely perfect, beautiful, beautiful bow. This is the one that everybody, including me, thought might not last. But that AE40 really worked. Okay, this is the red oak. Red oak has porous grains, and you have to sand it with a little lighter sandpaper. These bows, both of these bows are going to have leather dye put on them and warm satin polyurethane. I'm not sure what color. So let's see the profile. This thing is like butter. It's butter, all right? It's a great beginner bow or youth bow. Or someday I'm going to have a tour rotated cuff. If I ever have the surgery, I bet you I could shoot this a couple days after the surgery. Very nice. All right, so that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Watch my other videos on Bear Bow Joe. Okay, 2 beautiful bows. All right, and these bows, the red oak was a live tree 3 weeks ago. The locust 3 months ago, and they're both fire hardened. I suggest that if you're interested in fire hardening, you go to Shannon Outdoors and buy their fire hardening video. It's very informative, and it'll change, if you're a beginning bowyer, it'll change the way you think about buying staves. Instead of getting ripped off, you can get whitewoods in your local area, and you're able to fire harden them. And look at this, 3 weeks I got a shootable bow, 3 months I got a shootable bow, okay? Every day you get up is a great day. Get out, shoot, maybe make a bow. Thanks for watching.